Привет, друзья! Добро пожаловать на мой канал. Сегодня мы продолжаем читать мою книгу «30 дней дома». Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. We are continuing reading my story, 30 Days at Home. And this is a book for Russian students of A1 level, more or less A1 level. So if you are in the beginning, this is a great way to learn Russian through context, through reading. So I hope you will enjoy today's class. If you're already following me and this is not your first chapter, then welcome back. But today we're going to read chapter 12. Сегодня мы читаем главу номер 12. Главу номер 12. Глава номер 12 называется «Полиция». It's called «Police». Полиция. Just to remind you very quickly what we are doing. We are reading Russian text, then I'm translating it into English, and then I'm explaining grammar through context. And we also do exercises together. So let's start with reading in Russian. День номер 12. Полиция. Сегодня пятница. День номер 12. Сейчас утро. Я пью кофе и работаю. Я хочу спать, потому что вчера я долго читала книгу и потом еще поздно смотрела телевизор. Новости плохие. Ситуация не меняется. В Европе все ужасно. В России больных не очень много, но у нас карантин. Вчера и позавчера я была на улице, и сегодня я тоже хочу гулять. В обед я иду на улицу. Я беру мусор, чтобы вынести его, а также одеваю маску, как обычно. На улице снова мало людей. Я не вижу детей, потому что все дети сейчас дома, как мой брат. Школы сейчас работают только онлайн. Это очень неудобно, потому что дети хотят играть, разговаривать, но онлайн это невозможно. Я иду по дороге и вижу, что возле дома стоят два мужчины. Это мужчины в форме, они полицейские. Я иду медленно и немного переживаю. Они смотрят на меня и спрашивают: «Добрый день, девушка». «Здравствуйте», отвечаю я. «Куда вы идете? Вы гуляете?» Я показываю на пакет мусора и думаю про себя: слава Богу, что я решила взять мусор. Но говорю: я не гуляю, я выношу мусор. Это мусор. «Можно, пожалуйста, ваши документы?» – спрашивает один полицейский. «Зачем? У меня нет документов. Они дома. Я просто мусор выношу. Я не гуляю», – говорю громко я. «Хорошо, идите. Только не гуляйте. Сейчас нельзя гулять. Можно идти в магазин, можно идти в аптеку, в больницу и выносить мусор». «Да, я выношу мусор сейчас», – снова объясняю я. «Да, мы видим. Хорошо, до свидания». Я быстро выбрасываю мусор и потом иду домой. Okay, this is a real situation, guys, that was happening back in 2020, during COVID. Okay, so let's translate this text together. Day number 12, police. Today is Friday, day number 12. Now it's morning. I'm drinking coffee and I'm working. I want to sleep because yesterday I was reading a book for a long time, and then also I watch TV very late. You see, I say in Russian, I watch TV very late, but in Russian, it's actually I late watch TV. The news are bad. The situation is not changing. In Europe, everything is horrible. In Russia, not very many sick people, but we have quarantine. Yesterday and the day before yesterday, I was outside. Remember, in Russian we can say na ulici, meaning in the street, and also outside. And today I also want to go for a walk. At lunch break, I'm going outside. I take the garbage to throw it away, literally in order to throw it. And also I'm wearing mask as usual. Outside or in the street, again, very few people. I don't see kids, because all kids now at home, like my brother. Schools right now work only online. This is very inconvenient because kids want to play, talk, but online this is impossible. I go along the street or along the road, and I see that near the building are standing two men. These men are in uniform. They are policemen. I am walking very slowly and a little bit worried. They're looking at me and ask me, "Good afternoon, lady." "Hello," I reply. "Where are you going? Are you going for a walk?" I'm showing the bag of garbage, and I'm thinking in my head, praise God that I decided to take the garbage. But I say, I'm not going for a walk. I'm throwing out the garbage. This is garbage. Can we please see your documents? Literally, may please your documents? Ask one policeman. What for? I don't have documents. They're at home. I just throw out the garbage. I'm not going for a walk, I say loudly. All right, go. But don't go for a walk. Now you can go for a walk. You are allowed to go to the store. You are allowed to go to the pharmacy or hospital and throw out garbage. Yes, I'm throwing out garbage now. Again, I explain. Yes, we see. All right, goodbye. I quickly throw out garbage and then I go home. Okay, this is again, like I said, real situation, but that is day number 12. We read the text, and now we are going to talk about the grammar in this chapter. Remember, I am telling you that we have different colors. Different colors represent different cases in Russian. So I'm explaining you the cases based on this context, okay? And I explain you the functions and other ideas, right? By the way, if you're interested in studying more thoroughly Russian language and you want to do it with me, you are welcome to join one of my courses. For example, this week, in the end of this week, I'm right now starting a 2-level course. It's a 3-month course with 40 classes in total, and 3 classes per week. One class only $7. So the course costs $280, but you can pay in parts. And in the end of the week, I start another one. It's about a 2B1 level course. It's mostly speaking. So if you want to practice speaking, you can join this course as well. Please WhatsApp me. My WhatsApp number is +7 906 438 4313. So we're going to look at this grammar. Again, we see that red color is dominant here. So that means we will start with genitive, because red represents genitive in my system. So в России больных не очень много. So when we say много, it means a lot, then you have to use genitive case, because this is a quantity word. If you say много, мало, etc. And then больной is an adjective, but it has become a noun. But still it declines like an adjective. And for adjectives, in genitive, we say больных, not больной. Okay, у нас, this is possession. We use мы as нас after preposition у, which denotes the idea of possession. Okay, another example of quantity words. This was много, this is мало. Мало людей, very few people. Okay, людей is exception, we have to memorize it in genitive plural. Возле дома, near the house or near the building. Возле is preposition, near. After prepositions like у, at, возле, near, or others, we use, for example, до as well. We use genitive case. So near the house, возле дома. We use a ending because it's a masculine noun. Next function is genitive case with numbers. So with numbers 2, 3, and 4, we use genitive singular. Два мужчины. Okay, why do we use мужчины and not мужчина? Well, this is because мужчина is exception. It ends in a, so it looks like a feminine noun, but it is a masculine noun. But we decline it like a feminine noun. All right, пакет мусора, like a bag of garbage, of trash. So мусор is a masculine noun, trash, garbage. But because it says a bag of trash, whenever we have of, this is kind of a relation between two nouns, a bag of trash. So we have to also use genitive case. Possession and relation represent genitive in Russian. And because it's masculine, ending in a consonant, we also add a vowel. Again, у меня, this is possession, у меня, and then нет документов, I don't have documents. So this is another function of genitive case. I was just talking about this with my students from A2 class yesterday. Guys, if you are watching this, let me know in comments, maybe you're also watching this. This is really great, to repeat everything we are learning. So this is another function of absence. When you say you don't have something, there is no something, something is missing, something is absent, you use genitive case. And in this case, we use preposition of and not a. Why? Because this is plural genitive plural, not genitive singular. If this was something one, you would say нет телефона, нет документа. But this is plural, so we say нет документов. For masculine plural, we have to add of ending. There's, of course, more endings. And again, if you want, you can study this with me in my courses. And the last example is when we say goodbye. This is a phrase, actually, very common, but formal phrase to say goodbye. До свидания, which literally means until next meeting, until next time. But свидание, neutral nouns, becomes свидания. Свидания. So because of this preposition do means until or till, okay? So you can see we've talked about genitive. Again, we have a lot of genitive. I think in the previous class, in the previous chapter, we also had a lot of genitive. Now let's look at accusative. Accusative is also very dominant here. I think accusative was even bigger here, but accusative is always present, okay? Because it's direct object. For example, I drink coffee. Я пью кофе. You don't change coffee because it's inanimate neutral noun. Читала книгу. This one changes. Книга becomes книгу. Also direct object. Смотрела телевизор. Watch TV. This one doesn't change. Doesn't change. You see, because it's inanimate masculine noun. Then what else? В обед. So в обед is like about timing. If you talk about timing, for instance, on like if you talk about the days of the week or part of the day, you would say specifically with this phrase в обед. Because if you say in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, this is a different case. You have to memorize that is instrumental, but this is accusative, в обед, like during lunch break. And then я иду на улицу, I go outside. На улицу, direction again. With verbs of motion, when you are directed to go in somewhere, you use accusative as well. You see, this is accusative for feminine. Улица becomes улицу. The same like книга, книгу. Я беру мусор, I take the garbage. Again, direct object. Чтобы вынести его, to take it. Okay, this is again direct object. Одеваю маску, I put on mask. Again, direct object. Маска, маску. Я не вижу детей. Детей is exception, the same like людей. Okay, людей and детей, they are exceptions. You see that they have the same ending. I always recommend these ones should be memorized. All right, next we have они смотрят на меня. They're looking at me. Okay, this is also like directed. They're looking at me. So their look is directed at me. That's why it's accusative case. Okay, на меня. But basically, this is also with prepositions, as you can see. Na. It could also be v, right? You see that these prepositions are also used with locative case, prepositional, but unfortunately you have to differentiate between prepositional and accusative. Okay, я показываю на пакет. I'm showing or pointing at the bag. На пакет. Again, direction, I'm pointing. И думаю про себя. I think within myself, literally in my head. Про себя. Okay. So remember, with preposition pro, you always use accusative case. Pro actually means about. For instance, you can say я говорю про работу. I'm talking about work. Okay, so pro is the synonym of or ob. So keep this in mind. Next one, I decided to take garbage. Я решила взять мусор. Again, direct object doesn't change because мусор is masculine noun. Again, я выношу мусор. Masculine noun doesn't change. Идти в магазин. I'm going to the store. That's verb of motion. Идти, direction of movement. Идти в аптеку. A direction of movement. Аптека becomes аптеку. В больницу. The same, to the hospital. Выносить мусор. Direct object again. Выношу мусор. Direct object again. By the way, I hope you will memorize this phrase выносить мусор, which means literally to take garbage out. Because носить means to carry, and выносить means carry out. Basically, you carry out your garbage or trash from your house. Okay, this is like equivalent of like throwing out the garbage. So we in Russian don't say throw out, we say carry out the garbage. But we can also say this выбрасывать. So this is exactly throw out. Выбрасывать means to throw out. Выносить is carry out. So we've talked about, by the way, иду домой. Sometimes people mix this up as well. Some students, they say, oh, домой, this is like accusative case. No, this is actually an exception we have to memorize. Домой is a pronoun. It's something we have to memorize. If you remember, when you say at home, you also have to memorize it because you don't say в доме, you say дома. Okay, so this is exception. So these are two main cases here, genitive, red color, and accusative, green color. But we also have some other, for instance, locative or prepositional. В России, location, in Russia. You see, the ending is ii. Why? Because iya in prepositional changes to ii. Or another example, на улице, in the street or outside. This is easy, a changes to ye. Okay, this is most common ending for prepositional. На улице. And then again, на улице. And then again, в форме, in uniform. Форма becomes форме, in uniform. And then that's it. That's it. Only 3 examples of prepositional. Again, only talking about location. Also в Европе. Sorry, I didn't notice. In Europe. В Европе. So Европа, Европе, улица, на улице, форма, в форме. You see? So a changes to ye most of the time. That is why prepositional is considered to be the easiest case in the Russian language. And what else do we have? I think we only have dative, a little bit of dative, no instrumental in this case. So where is dative? Right here. По дороге, along the street or down the street. So по дороге, down the street means like you go on the street, okay, along the street. So why we use dative here? Because of preposition по. With preposition по, you always use dative case. Please memorize this. And дорога, feminine, changes to ye. So in dative, a changes to ye. What else? And I think the last one... Yeah, I think the last one was this. Slava Bogu, glory be to God. So Slava Bogu, it's a phrase meaning like praise God. But it literally in Russian it means glory be to God. That is why we use dative here, because it's like glory be to God, towards God. Okay? So, and whenever we say to somebody, especially when we talk about people, we have to use dative case. Okay, so this is like indirect object. I hope you know, guys, what dative case is in indirect object as well. So we've talked about the cases, and we read the text, we translated it. Now let's go ahead and look at exercises. So exercise 1 we are not doing, because I hope you are doing this with me or some other teacher, because it's really cool that when you actually work with this text, you read it and then you retell it and you answer questions. Okay, this is very, very helpful. Also, there is there is audiobook, professionally recorded, not by me, but actually by professional people who did that, and this was recorded with a female voice, which is amazing, guys. So check it out. If you want to buy this book, the whole book, PDF with audiobook, you can go to my website, ispeakrussian.org and /books, and you can get this PDF book for several dollars. Now, true or false? Правда или неправда? В Европе все отлично. Неправда. В России больных не очень много. Правда. На улице Ольга видит много людей. Неправда. Она видит мало людей. Школы сейчас работают только онлайн. Правда. На улице 3 полицейских. Неправда. 2 мужчины стояли на улице, да? И номер 6. Полицейские говорят Ольге ехать в полицию с ними. Policemen tell her to go with them to the police station. Нет, неправда. Praise God, no. And we have to translate these sentences. Переведите, translate, на русский язык, into Russian. It's morning now. Сейчас утро. 2. Situation doesn't change. Ситуация не меняется. 3. There are few people outside. На улице мало людей. Remember, людей is exception with the genitive. 4. Kids want to play and talk. Дети хотят играть и разговаривать. 5. There are 2 men standing near the house. Возле дома стоят 2 мужчины. 6. I'm throwing the garbage. Я выбрасываю мусор. Or you can also say я выношу мусор. Number 7. You're not allowed to go for a walk now. Сейчас нельзя гулять. And the last one, number 8. All right, goodbye. Хорошо, до свидания. Okay? So, this is chapter 12, guys. Next chapter, суббота, день номер 13. Don't miss it. I hope you've enjoyed today's class. Let me know what you think about this method of learning Russian grammar and vocabulary in the comments, okay? It's really important for me to know whether this is helping you or not. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next class. Пока!